Hello, Bumbles. How are you? I know I've been a little sporadic lately and I haven't updated you, and I don't think this is going to go in the Sunrise on the Readathon vlog. I think this is going to be its own portion, its own vlog, basically, because it's really fucking important, okay? So currently we are on reading sprints with Katie for Sunrise on the Readathon, and I am playing some Disney Dreamlight Valley because, hello. And you can't see it, but I'm also in the Game Maker Discord chat causing chaos. So I'm not really doing a lot of anything. So there's that. I had to pop on here because I wanted to talk about this vlog, which is going to be Bunny by Mona Awad. Yeah, so if you don't know, then you are not a part of Katie's channel, which, why are you not? Hello. But Bunny is like her staple cult classic, her favorite book of all time. Is what her like channel brand is basically based on at this point. And I've never read Bunny. So they were talking about, they did a Bunny read together, words, together, and I missed out on it. And I had put a hold on it and on Libby, and it finally came in after like a 4-week wait. So I think I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna vlog it, and I'm very excited. And it's gonna be so funny because, so there are several vlogs coming that like I'm tagging Katie in, because the one is for Sunrise on the Readathon, obviously that vlog. But then she wanted me to tag her when I do the Hunger Games mega vlog. So I'm gonna tag her for that. And then obviously I'm going to tag her when I do this, because like she has to see it. And it's kind of like, girl, I'm tagging you in a lot of shit and I'm so sorry. If you don't want to be a part of it, I don't really know what to tell you. Like this is what it is, because like, yeah. Anyway, so I am going to start this. Do I know anything about this book? No. You would think that because like Katie has talked about it so much, like I know what it's about. No. And I think that's kind of the point. I just know that it's a cult classic. I know that it's about a group of girls. What's funny though is, and I don't know how true this is, so any gamers in the chat, if you have played the game Dead by Daylight, there is a killer in that game who wears a bunny mask, and she hums and has an axe when she hunts you. And I don't know why anytime I think of like this book, I think of that killer. I don't think there's a relation, but I don't know for sure because I don't remember where that killer even came from. I don't know if it was like an original concept or not. Anyway, point being, it's just every time I think of that, I think of this book. And so hopefully that doesn't like color my experience and I'm disappointed because like that's not part of it, but that's just what I think of. So anyway, I'm going to read this and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna have a good old freaking time. So I'm going to tag Kat in this, also known as Artemis Daydreams. If you're not following her, please go do so. She's freaking fantastic and I love her. I'm gonna tag Kat in this because we were both in Katie's stream and she was like, girl, you better make a vlog, like do it. And I was like, bet. So I'm gonna have to tag her in this too because I know that she also loves Bunny and they both just read We Love You Bunny. So Kat, you're getting tagged too. You can't get away from it. I'm very excited. So part 1, here we go. Wait, you're telling me that Smut Salon came from this book? Not me thinking that the Smut Salon book club is because it was funny to call it something. Like, not the Smut Salon book club being from Bunny and not because Katie is asexual and smut. I mean, I guess it still could be that, but like, not me just thinking with context clues that that's what it was about, but not understanding actually what context clues are. That's so funny when pieces come together. Anyway, I just came here to say that because that just like blew my mind. Like as soon as I read it, I was like, wait. That's fucking funny. This book is wild. I'm on chapter 5. I wonder if Katie and Kat would care if I sent them a voice note. Okay, so I'm on chapter 5, and like nothing's really happened yet, right? But I'm getting certain vibes. So like, and this is like whenever I read a book, but there's just like a certain vibe that I'm getting. At first I was a little confused because she was talking, Samantha, the main character, was talking about how she's with a bunch of her peers. And so I thought that she was a faculty member, and I guess she's not. So she's a student at this college, and she gets invited into the smut salon, right? So she goes to the first meeting. I don't know, I'm getting like Mean Girl vibes, to be honest. Like it's definitely giving like Regina George vibes of they invite the new girl into the clique basically, but like they're secretly plotting against her. It's so weird, but I don't know, like, is this something like, it's almost giving like, oh, we're gonna take like the frumpy dumpy girl and give her like a Princess Diaries makeover, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that type of vibe at the moment, and I can't tell, because even Samantha, she's like, oh, I thought that like they were gonna be like have pornos all over the TV, and they were gonna like be reading like porno magazines and like having like lust-filled orgies and all this stuff. Like she was thinking the worst, but she still goes. So I'm kind of like, girl, are you into that? Like you went and you were worried, but like, are you into that? Okay, because it's called the smut salon, obviously. But yeah, I'm just getting like this weird vibe. I think I'm gonna send Katie and Kat a voice because I need to understand what's happening. This is not necessarily a book update. This is I'm sitting here watching Bluey update.
What?
For context, Whiskey just had his, but what are you doing? He just had his second ACL surgery, and he's still recovering. He's got about 5 weeks to go, and he can't go up the stairs. To combat this, because he will stand at the bottom of the stairs and cry if he doesn't have like someone with him. So during the day, my husband and I are trying to be down here with him. Anyway. Long story short, I was reminded by a friend that Bluey is a cartoon that is made for dogs as well as kids. And because we've been putting cartoons on for him, or like a rain sound, so that he'll calm down and like go to sleep. So it reminded me, they're like, yeah, Bluey is made for dogs too. And I was like, yeah, I have heard that. Because something about the colors of it, like they made it so specifically dogs would be able to see it. And so I was like, okay, what the hell? So I turned on Bluey.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Y'all, when I tell you that it actually worked, he sat and watched it for about 8 hours. Like, on this couch, in the center, watching the TV. It was pretty cute. But tell me why, like, I come down here this morning and I, like, sit down and I'm watching it, and tell me why I'm, like, tearing up.
Bruh.
Tearing up at this fucking kid show. Not like crying or anything, but just like tearing up. Oh my god. Anyway, that was the whole point of this update. I am still reading Bunny. I need to go finish getting ready for work. If I can pull myself away from this show, I need to go finish getting ready for work, and then I'm probably gonna listen to Bunny. I got the audiobook on Spotify, so I'm probably gonna listen to Bunny while I'm at work today. Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I say a lot, but like I already have theories, and I did not send Katie or Kat a voice note yet because it was like 10 o'clock at night, but I have theories, but I don't know if they're right because it's like too early on. I'm only on like chapter 7, but there's just something about this, and like there's something about this too that reminds me of Don't Let the Forest In. It's very atmospheric. It pulls you into like the world. Not as like descriptive as Don't Let the Forest In, obviously, but like there's just still an element that I'm like, yeah, this is pretty, like this is really atmospheric. It's like gripping me, so I'm having a good time. Could I tell you what this book is about? No, because I realized that I have not told you what this book is about because I don't fucking know. So far, it's just about a girl named Samantha who is in college, and there's a group of girls that meet at a smut salon every week or something, and they call themselves the Bunnies. And the like head bunny is called the Duchess. So that's all I can tell you, and that just like there's something really weird about these girls. That's all I can tell you. Okay, I'll see you later. Well, this book is fucking wild. I had to like stop and come out here. I'm on chapter 15. Wow. I had to look up actually if the bunny thing was related to this book from Dead by Daylight, like I was saying earlier. It's not. It's related to something else. But I'm gonna tell you right now that they could be synonymous. They could be synonymous. Anyway, I have a lot of theories, and I had a lot of theories, and I'm debating on whether or not I want to spoil the book. So I'm just gonna say from like this point until the next timestamp, don't listen. So I had a theory that they were all in a mental asylum, right? So like that's Samantha. I have a theory that like Samantha is schizophrenic and that she's really in a mental asylum because it was talking about bars on her windows. And then I was like, okay, so she's schizophrenic, she's like in a mental asylum, imagining all this. But then these bunnies, I think, are also mental patients in the asylum, and that's why they're all fucking weird as hell. But then now I'm like so confused, because I guess like, is this all in her head, or is this like, this is so like Don't Let the Forest In. It really is. Like, is this all in her head, or is this actually happening? Yeah, so, and I think it's actually happening, potentially, but I don't know. Because see, Don't Let the Forest In really like gaslit you, because it was so atmospheric and like pulled you in with so much of the description that you really were like, no, this is real, this is happening. But this, I don't know. I don't know if this is real and if this is happening, like, or if it's all in her head. Anyway, I'm gonna take a little break from listening to it, because I'm getting to the point where like, I'm working, but like I'm getting to the point where I am not really listening to it and I have to keep going back. So I'm gonna take a little break. But I did, oh my god, I cannot wait to do this. I got the arc for We Love You Bunny, which is the prequel and the sequel of this book. So I'm so excited to read that when I finish this book. I'm very excited. Hello, Bunny. I can now use that because I understand what it means. So hello, Bunny. How are you? I am driving home, and I just have some thoughts that I just have to get out while I'm driving, because there's just so many. I am on chapter 26 of Bunny. I'm so like 60% of the way through the book. I know I haven't really said what this book is about, because I didn't really know what this book was about until about, I don't know, an hour ago. That's just how insane it is. Here's the thing about this book. So this book is following Samantha, who is in her, I guess we're gonna say, like, she's in graduate school basically, and she's working on her thesis, and she's going to be like a writer. It's this very prestigious school that can open up the way for her, right? From the very beginning of the book, you just get this feeling like she's like a tortured artist, right? And you get this feeling that there is just not something mentally right with her. Like, there's just something about her and her friend Ava. Ava just kind of seems like an alternate emo goth girl, but like Samantha, like there's something there, right? She gets involved with this group called the Bunnies. They are basically like these elite, rich, preppy girls, but there's something like even darker about them that you just don't see right away, but there's just something not right about them. Like, they're giving off this weird cult vibe. So that's why earlier I was saying like it's Mean Girls with Regina George, but like cult version, right? To say that there's not a plot is probably like an insult, but honestly, like for the first like 50% of the book, not much happened, but so much was happening, if that makes sense. Because we're learning about Samantha, we're learning about the bunnies, and we are learning like what the bunnies are about, because Samantha gets an invite to their smut salon. And she, in her head, is thinking like it's some orgy, like group or whatever. But it just turns out to be kind of like a party, and she gets drunk. And they tell her like at the end, they're like, okay, so basically for you to join us, you need to go out and find a bunny. And there's like bunnies all over this campus for some reason. Like throughout this entire time with us following Samantha, she very much like hates the bunnies. They're in a workshop with her, which basically is like, it's a class that explores your creativity and explores like your pieces, and it explores like what makes creativity, what makes creation, and like it explores like how you view that and how you put that into play. The bunnies are all a part of it, and then Samantha's the only other girl in there, so it's all the bunnies and then her. For the longest time they've been like against her and like criticized her work and like what she's put forth, But then after she gets this invite and goes, they start like connecting with her, and they're kind of like, oh yeah, like, I mean, your work is dark and it's weird, but like, I like it, like, it's okay, it's cool, like, you can hang with us. It's classic fucking, like, I call it click syndrome, but I don't know what it's really called. There probably is a term for it, probably called cult syndrome, really, where you start to feel a part of and feel like, let me break it down. So basically, if you have ever not felt like you belonged, if you have ever felt like you were on the sidelines, you were the third wheel, like no one ever picked you for the dodgeball team, basically, you probably suffered from something of like when someone gave you a bit of attention, or someone like made you feel included with no strings or whatever, you jumped on that because you've never felt that before, like, right? What Samantha is experiencing is this, in a horrible way, where she's starting to feel included by this group of girls, because also she's very poor. She has a stipend that she lives off of at this school to be able to afford her essentials, basically, because her mother is dead and her father is like in hiding from like all these creditors and investors and stuff, because he's a poet. So what we see happening is like she's hanging out with these rich girls who are making her feel like she's important and special and whatever, which she's probably never felt before. And the way that the book, you go from Samantha's train of thought, which in itself is very jarring and very bizarre, because like her thinking is just so weird, but it immediately, like, once she really gets accepted into the fold, she goes full cult thoughts, girl. Like, this book also very much, like, okay, so I'm at a part where they're all going away for the holidays, and you start to see that, like, throughout the book, for a hot minute, I was like, do these girls, like, are they fucking okay? Because I still am of the mind that they're all mental patients in a mental hospital, and this is all in her head. But I really think that, like, you start to see that these girls they're just rich girls. Like, they're just rich girls and they're fucking bored. Like, they're doing what they're doing. What's really happening is really happening. They're fucking doing it and having a good old time because they're just bored. Like, they don't know what else to do while they're at school, and they just think that they're so, like, it really is an analogy for, like, sometimes rich girls fucking think that when they have a fucking profound thought that they are like Einstein, or that they're like Shakespeare, or that they're like Mozart. Like, they fucking just think that they fucking are sitting on the toilet taking a shit like the rest of us, and they have this most profound thought that really isn't even that profound, and they suddenly think that they're like at the top of the world. The book is profound in a lot of ways, because I'm just seeing a lot of things that I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Is that what the book is about? I don't fucking know. Like, I'm not Mona Awad, I don't know. But all I'm saying is that, like, I feel like that this book is definitely just like symbolism for clique behavior, and basically how cliques are cults, if you really think about it. Like, cliques are cults. The other thing is too, I am still of the mind that this is all in her head. Like, I can't tell if, like, what's happening, like, I can't tell if I can't tell what's real and what's fiction with that girl. And like, there's several parts. See, I don't want to spoil the book for anyone. Like, I really don't, because I want people to read this book, because it's like so insane. So like, just, I'm gonna put a timestamp here that you can skip to when I'm done saying what I'm saying. But I really think that Samantha is schizophrenic. I know I said it earlier, but I do really think that she's schizophrenic. And I think that if the bunnies are not a figment of her imagination, like, because there is something with the bunnies, but I can't tell what it is. I can't discern, like, is it in her head, or is there actually, like, they are just like a clique of girls that happens to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is something, like, is it just a clique of girls that does happen to be in a cult, and they're preying on this, unfortunately, like, mentally ill person who can't speak or defend herself and can't determine right from wrong? Because the way that she is acting, like, in regards to her friend, her, like, best friend, I would argue, is what Ava is, how she's, like, throwing her away for this cult, and then suddenly, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, but then, like, still getting in with them. Like, it's just all about, like, this need to belong. But yeah, I'm having a really good time with the book. This maybe all makes it sound like I'm not having a good time, but I am. Like, this is so fucking cool. If I can finish Bunny tonight, which I might be able to, because I'm gonna go be on sprints, not be on, but I'm gonna be a part of sprints for Samantha tonight. I might finish this book tonight, and I might start We Love You Bunny. I might. Katie has already read it, and so has Kat. And I did send Katie a voice note earlier. I was like, girl, I'm like sitting at my desk and I can't fucking scream. What have you done to me? So yeah, I think I'm gonna read We Love You Bunny. But I'm home now, so I'm going to go in here and finish Bunny, and I'll catch up with you guys later. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a rabbit all the way over there. And that, I am 1000% sure, is the mom of the babies. But I don't see the babies with her right now. They're probably over there. I'll try to get a video of the babies for you. What is going on? Like, what is actually going on? Is this... Okay. Once again, this vlog is gonna have to be spoilers. Like, unless you have read Bunny, you should not watch this. Like, I think there's just no way for me to be like, yeah. Like, okay, so my whole theory is right. It's been proven right now. Or at least it hasn't been proven. But, like, there has been an instance in the book where something like popped up and I was like, oh, that's how we're gonna confirm it. Okay, got it. So this is a thing. But because like, why else would it be in the book, right? Here's the thing. So the man, what is his name? Does he even have a name? Don't know. The man who has come about, I can't tell if he is who she thinks he is or who I think he is, which is there's just a lot that I don't get it. I don't get it. I do get it, but I don't get it. Because, like, I think part of my theory is correct, but how much of it is, like, how much of my theory is right? And I can't tell. And that's what's freaking me and tripping me the hell out. Much left to go now, but I just had to pop in because there is something just not right, and there is an aspect to this that I am like, girl, are you fucking okay? It's like, are you good? So this is what I'm now kind of piecing together, is she definitely has an issue, and I believe it is schizophrenia, because there's like a bit of the book where something comes up. There's a context clue, we'll just call it that comes up that basically confirms what I'm thinking. But this is the thing though, is so this school, right, that she's in is very prestigious, and something happened with her and a professor. Though she swears that nothing physical, nothing sexual, nothing of that nature happened, they were literally just friends. But he did kind of like, not make advances, but it's almost like he really led her on. Like, he played with her emotions because she was in a vulnerable state and is still in a vulnerable state, to where she believed that there was going to be something more potentially. And then like he just stopped all contact. And so she's like left with this like, what the fuck? And at that point, she stopped writing. Like, she stopped, putting any effort in being creative. And then she falls in with the bunnies. But now that's all changed. Like, now she's not, like, the bunnies are not a part of this, are not a factor. And now, like, everything's back to normal with her and Ava. And she's writing again. There is something very wrong here. A lot of this too is like, it's hitting me in a certain way because I am working on my novel and I've started writing again after years and years. And it's like this one part that I just got to hit me in the teeth because I was like, yeah, I really do just be like that. Like, you think that your creativity's gone, you think that you've killed it, you think that you were a hack, you think that like you'll never amount to what you in your head want to be. And then one day you sit down and it's just all there. And it's been there the whole time. But because of circumstances of like burnout, stress, expectation, working, like you don't lose it, but it does fade away. And this is kind of what this seems like for her, is that there was so much pressure to succeed or what have you, that like she just suppressed her creativity. But the thing is, there is still another aspect to this, of this girl is not fucking mentally well. Like, she is not okay. So I just don't see, what was this? Like, what? There is a deeper symbolism here with all of this that I'm just not getting yet. And I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Alright, so I'm currently I'm currently on sprints with Samantha, and I am going to play some Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I'm going to switch to the audiobook of Bunny because I'm doing this thing where the book is getting like so intense that I don't want to say that I'm feeling anxiety because like, I don't know, maybe I am, but I think I'm just getting like so antsy because I just want to know at this point. Like, I just want to know what's right, what's wrong, what's up, what's down. And I just can't fucking read fast enough because I'm trying to like read, obviously, but process what I'm reading, and I'm not doing that. And so I'm gonna switch to the audiobook, and not that that's like gonna help me process because I listened to stuff at 1.9, but I am gonna do that. I also do want to say though that something I forgot to mention is, what is with all the alcohol consumption and the smoking in this book? You would think that this book is like taking place almost like in the 50s, 60s, not even in the 90s. Like, there's so much drinking and there's so much like consumption happening, which A, we all know does not help mental disorders, but B, like, is there supposed to be a significance of that? Like, that this is just not even schizophrenia or anything, but alcoholism. Like, they're like, there's whiskey, there's scotch, there's wine, there's beer. It's like every time you flip a page, someone is drinking or smoking something. And I'm just like, is this supposed to like mean something? Like, why? But anyway, we just got to a really big reveal that with like Max and Ava. And so now I'm questioning so many things. And like, I think there's an aspect to this to where a lot of what's happening is real. Like, a lot of what's happening is true, but there's still that point in me of like, is that the point? Like, is the point of it that it is true? This was my problem with Don't Let the Forest In. It was, am I supposed to seriously believe that this is all happening? Or am I supposed to believe that it's not happening? But like, there's no wrong answer. Also, I feel like with this book, there is a wrong answer. Like, I feel like that this book is a bit different in that there is a wrong answer and it's either true or it's not. And I'm worried that it is true, but I don't know, which is why I have to switch to the audiobook. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop yapping my gums. Hopefully I don't check in before I finish because I only have 20% left of this book. So I'm gonna try to hit the finish line here. Okay, we're in the last little bit here. We're in the last little bit of this, and I'm going to finish in this sprint. I've got 33 minutes to finish this book, and I am on what chapter am I on? I'm on chapter 36. Oh God, I actually have 2 more chapters to go. Oh my God, can I do it? Can I do it in that amount of time? I can if I stop fucking talking. Okay, so I'm going to finish this book, and I'm like, I can't even tell you what I'm thinking right now because there's so many thoughts. I just sent Katie a voice note, another one. Katie, if you're watching this, my voice note probably was like all over the place. I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna finish this. I can't even tell you any thoughts because I think I need to finish the book so I can like think about, process it, like duh. But I'm thinking that if the book doesn't tell me, like if I don't get a big reveal about what's going on, then I'm really gonna have to sit and process what the fuck I just read, because I'm so scared that it's gonna be like Don't Let the Forest In and be very ambiguous, and I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna be very upset. So I'm gonna finish this, and then we're gonna have a big little powwow here at the end, because
I don't got time to be thinking about things we can't figure out. Maybe I'm better off without you and your dirty mouth. I don't know how everything went south. We're just so different now. I wanna go high, just wanna go high, but you keep pulling me down. Feels like we are grown apart lately.
okay, sorry, y'all came second fiddle and third fiddle because I had to send out voice notes to Katie and Cassie, and I'm probably gonna send one to Samantha, and I'm probably gonna send one to Kat. Like, y'all, y'all that want the voice notes are going to get them, okay? So y'all came like fourth fiddle but it actually helped because the more that actually, you know what, let me put you on my tripod, y'all. So for anyone who like, because I've tried to keep this spoiler free, I've tried to keep this pretty spoiler free. So what I will just say at this point is, if you have watched this far, I'm just going to say that this book is fucking amazing. I love it very much. I'm going to be thinking about this book for a very long time. I hope, at least. I always say that after I've read a book that's really like impacted me, but I actually think that I'll be thinking about this book because it's crazy. And I'm going to be reading We Love You Bunny. So yeah. But I do love it. Highly recommend it. Definitely a cult classic. And it's so funny because it came out in 2019, and I forgot to mention this, but there's a part where she's talking about watching a Disney movie, and she starts describing the Disney movie, and it's just fucking Frozen. And I was like, wait, because for some reason in my head, this book, because when you say like cult classic, I think of like an old book. So I was like, didn't this book like release in like the 90s or something? No, it's 2019. Anyway, right before the world went to shit. I love this book. I highly recommend it. Definitely go into it if you love a mindfuck. Definitely don't go into it if you don't love a mindfuck. Definitely go into it though. I would recommend, honestly, so I would recommend one of two things. I would recommend reading it physically, but I would recommend doing so only if you're like in a state of mind where you can actually pay attention. But I definitely, if you're someone that's like neurodivergent, or even just someone that gets really like anxious during suspenseful parts, I would recommend the audiobook as well, because definitely when I started getting near the end, and because I just wanted to know what was happening so badly, listening to it helped me so much more than reading it, because I was gonna start skimming, and you can't skim this book. There were definitely points like today at work I wasn't fully paying attention. I would go back and like re-listen. So definitely pick up the audiobook, pick up the physical book. Definitely a good time, but definitely like give it the time that it deserves, because you're gonna miss some stuff in it that kind of helps you along in the story. And also, don't expect to understand what's going on the first time you read this, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I still don't know what's going on. I think I have a decent grasp, or at least the grasp that the story that I want to be told, I know. Also, go into this knowing that this is not a book for plot, because I'm going to be very honest with you, nothing really, this is going to sound crazy because a lot happened, but nothing really happened. Like, we didn't go anywhere. There wasn't anything like necessarily mind-blowing. Like, there wasn't like a giant reveal. There were reveals, don't get me wrong, but like, it's very much a book, it's a character study. It's very much a book that's centered around this main character and just in her head. Like, that's all it is. Like, there really isn't even any dialogue. There's not really any conversation. It's very short form. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but do you know what I mean? Like, it's not anything that's going to immerse you into like a world space. It's immersing you into the character's head. So if you like that, great. If you don't like that and you're really in it for like a thrilling plot, if you're in it for a thriller, this is not it. This is psychological like horror. Like, this is definitely not anything like thrilling, but it is gripping. Like, it will grip you if like that's your thing. So anyway, if you don't want spoilers, that is like my review. I think I have to rate this 5 stars. I have to. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, do I rate it 4 stars? Only because I was confused, but I can't fault the book for that. That's like my brain, not the book's fault. Because it's not the book's fault. It's like me not understanding like what's happening, because you're not supposed to. So that's not the book's fault. I think I have to rate this 5 stars. I do. Like I always say this, that I'm like, after I finish a book, like I can feel intuitively what it should be. It should be 5 stars. It should be 5 stars. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna rate it 5 stars. Yeah. So if you are gonna hop off here, I'm gonna talk about spoilers now and talk about the plot itself and just my theories. So if you're into that, here we go. Okay, so from the beginning of this, definitely thought Samantha was mentally unwell, schizophrenia, psychosis, dissociation, all that. My theories were wrong as far as like me thinking they were in a mental hospital and the bunnies were mental patients. That is not what happened here. So what I think about this book follows a woman who, her grip on reality is like frail. Like, it is not there. And over the course of the book, you see her delve into this cult-like atmosphere, and you see them start taking bunnies and making men out of them. It's like it's an experiment, they call it, a creative experiment that broadens, it studies the body and it studies the form, the wound, and like all this stuff. Samantha is an outcast, right? And so there's 5 of the bunnies in this group, and the Duchess is like the head one, Eleanor, and it's a clique, obviously. And they all act like teenage girls. They talk in high-pitched voices. They act as like this giant amorphous blob, and they act like scary, but they're not really scary. Again, think Mean Girls, but also think just like airheaded Mean Girls. I mean, maybe that is really what Mean Girls are, but anyway. And Samantha hates them, and her friend Ava hates them, right? Like, they are like the Wednesday Addams of this type of thing, that they're like, ugh, you know. And Samantha doesn't have any friends in her cohort. She only has Ava, and Ava is off campus. She is in her own school. She's like in a nature type of school or something like that. So earlier in her schooling, she had a teacher who she was very close with, and they were friends, and there was a lot of insinuation that there was like a sexual relationship going on with them, and there wasn't. Like, Samantha tells us this like explicitly, there was nothing of that kind, but he just stopped talking to her one day and stopped like hanging out with her, and she's just kind of left with like, why? Like, what did I do? And so she has a heartbreak from him, like a detachment from him that isn't explained until later in the book, but it's kind of a question in the back of your mind of like, what happened? Because she really believed that like there was something there, right? So when Samantha goes to the bunnies, it starts to become apparent that the bunnies are a part of a cult that is making humans out of bunnies. It's like not a satanic ritual, but it's a ritual where they take a bunny and they make a man out of them. And the man is called like a draft, a darling, a hybrid. They don't call them men, right? But there's always a deformity with these drafts because they're drafts. And so Vignette often says, she's like, I really want one with like a cock so we can get fucked. And it's like, girl, what? But they're never they're never made with sexual organs, and they are made like with no hands, and sometimes they like ooze or there's pieces missing from them, and they're pretty freaking mindless. So the bunnies use them basically as like butlers or something, to get stuff for them or to like just cuddle with them. But if you ask them about like questions about themselves or ask them to have sex with them, the bunnies either start crying or their heads explode. Yeah. So basically, for a long story short, what ends up we discover is that Samantha made Ava her best friend out of a swan. And so when the bunnies like are waving to her in the beginning and she waves back, it's because they can tell that Ava is not human. But Samantha doesn't know this. She thinks Ava is real. So we go through the whole book not understanding this. I thought that Ava was dead the entire time. Color me shocked. And then Samantha makes a hybrid out of a bunny, and his name is Max. And we go through the book and we figure out that him and Ava are like a thing, and they're dating, and Samantha's trying to figure out like how to tell Ava about him. We just come to find out that all of this is in Samantha's head. And so we come to find out that her mother, her entire life, has been telling her like, hey, you're running away with your imagination again. There's mentions of a doctor. There's also mentions of like a woman on a bus reading a pamphlet about schizophrenia. And Samantha talks about how like the woman is pulling the words straight from her head. And it's like, yeah, because it's in your own head. Basically, my theory about this whole thing is, at first I was like, okay, so part of this was real. Like I was going to take it at face value of like, oh, some of this was real, right? Because Ava ends up getting killed. Like she gets axed somehow. I think we're supposed to believe that Samantha did it, but then I think we're supposed to believe that one of the bunnies did it. I don't know. But the more I think about it, the more I think about how it's not real. None of it is real. The more I realize that this is definitely like she's having a breakdown. And like she's in this workshop with just the bunny, and it kind of seems like that they're jealous of her, and so they kind of tear her work down. But then you start to realize that like she is just an outcast. And when I got to the end of the book, I kind of had an epiphany of like, this book is her thesis. Because the lion says something, that the guy that broke her heart said something to her of like, oh, this thesis is different than what you originally had, but it's fine, it's good. This book is her thesis. This book is what she wrote. Like this book is that. And so she had to like embellish it, but it's not even embellishment. That's what she believes happened in her brain. And that's freaking messed up. So yeah, I loved the book a lot. I think it was fantastic. I definitely want to read We Love You Bunny. I think maybe what I'll do, depending on how long this portion of the vlog is, I might just combine the two. We will see. But yeah, this was a good time. Hello darlings, how are you? So here we are again, and we need to talk about this amazing freaking, what book am I talking about? Oh, the book that you've been listening to me ramble about for at least an hour and a half. Ta-da! Bunny by Mona Awad. Yes, this book was incredible. I think I've said it enough, but also this book was completely unexpected, because when I had heard Katie talk about it, you know, for months and months and months, because it's like her book, you know, it's like the book that started her Patreon, it's the book that she's built her brand around, like it's her book. When I heard her talk about it and she's like, you're gonna go into this book and you're not gonna know what's happening, you're not gonna understand like, you know, what's going on, and also like you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, and you're gonna love it because you don't understand it and it's fun, or you're gonna hate it because you don't understand and it's fun, you know what I'm saying? So I went into it, I was in a reading slump, and I was like, you know what, if I don't love it, then that's fine. If I don't understand it, then that's fine. I just need something. And honestly, what kind of sealed the deal is that I was on NetGalley and I was requesting like arcs on there, and I got the arc for We Love You Bunny because I was like, well, let me see if I even get it, and then that'll decide if like I read this. And I got it, so I was like, well, have to read this. I think what made this experience better is the fact that I got to spiral about it with Katie and Kat and send them all the voice notes that I wanted, and it was so much fun for them to just be like, Julia, you are never gonna shut up about this book, and they would be right. I will say I did rate this 5 stars. I love it very much. I will say that what helped me rate this so highly is being able to talk about it with them, but also having the audiobook in tandem with this. I feel like if I didn't have the audiobook, there would be many points where I would have maybe given up with it. But I also will say that this is a really fun, trippy time. You at no point really have a complete grasp of what's going on, and by the end of it you still don't really know what's going on, and it'll take you multiple rereads to really come up with a theory. I will say that if you are someone who loves deep diving, spiraling, if you love like really intricate mysteries where there really isn't a definitive answer, you'll love this. If you love like We Used to Live Here, This is like a walk in the park compared to this. If you read House of Leaves, which I have not read, but I heard that it's even more pretentious and intricate than We Used to Live Here, this is gonna be like kindergarten for you, okay? And I'm really glad that I read this before reading We Used to Live Here, because it was kind of like that stepping stone for me. Like, I was able to walk into this, or walk out of this book and into We Used to Live Here and like, okay, yeah, I've played this game before. I know the players, I know the pieces, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this was a really good time. It definitely deserves its cult classic name. It definitely deserves the awards that it's got. It definitely deserves her flowers. So I highly recommend it if you're into a weird, funky time. And of course, thank you to Katie and to Kat for listening to me ramble and spiral. It was a really, really fun time to talk about this book with y'all, and also spiral and have theories about We Love You Bunny. I'm very excited for the live show that's coming up. If you are not a part of Katie's Patreon, I would highly recommend that you join, because we are going to be doing live show read-alongs where we read the book and then talk about it throughout the month. So highly recommend you join if you want to read it with a group and have a live discussion. It's a really wonderful time in her community, and I unfortunately will not be able to join those because I'll be working, but she will take care of you over there. There are a lot of amazing people over there, so highly recommend. And with that, my loves, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll be here all week, baby. I love you guys. Mwah. Bye.